Let's face it, students love apps, and I don't blame them. It's because it can simplify a lot of different processes. However, did you know that there are actually apps that can help students along their path to scholarships for college? If you didn't, then stick with me because in today's video, I am going to share my favorite applications that can be used for the scholarship process. Let's go ahead and dive in. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures rather than ones saddled in debt. Now, we primarily focus on scholarships. In fact, our families have secured well over $10.5 million. And so we have seen a lot when it comes to applying to scholarships. This is our bread and butter. So make sure you hit subscribe because every single week we're releasing a new strategy to help your family get that debt-free degree. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump in. So today you can see an iPhone or a cell phone of some sort glued to pretty much everyone's hands. So why not use these powerful tools to improve our scholarship process? Now, I would not say just nix the computer when it comes to this process. We still do need to use actual websites, etc. for this process. But these apps can just improve the experience or maybe give you and your student just a different perspective in different areas. Now, the first one isn't actually technically for scholarships. However, it is one of the most powerful tools on our phones, and that is the calendar app. So I have to say that the calendar app can be so helpful when it comes to the scholarship process. For example, in the scholarship system and in our free training, actually, if you want to register for that, you can find the link in the description or you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free training. But in this, we focus on how to uncover legitimate scholarships with less competition. As you could imagine, a lot of times your family may uncover scholarships that the deadline has passed or maybe it's far in the future. But that doesn't mean we should just exit the page and move on. One of the biggest tips I give students is to save that scholarship so that way next year we already have a list built up. Now, I'll share an app that can help you with that in just a moment, but we can also mark the deadline. We can put a URL, we can put any kind of requirements, and we can put an alert on that calendar app. So we can just create an event in the calendar. And I would do it a little bit earlier than the deadline. We don't want to find out about it on the deadline, right? So maybe a month ahead, or you can put it for the deadline, but set an alert for a month ahead. But either way, this calendar app can make sure that we don't spend a ton of time finding amazing scholarships and then forget to submit them, because I think that is a major hindrance for a lot of students. Now, going off of that, in the scholarship system, we actually created our own app. You can learn more about that at thescholarshipsystem.com/app. APP. And again, I'll put all these links in the description, so make sure you check out the description at the end of this video. However, in our app, it is free and it is empty. So that might be a little bit unique because you'd think, well, I want to log in and see a ton of scholarships. But what we actually do is leave it empty so that students can only save the ones they want to apply to. Now, it's neat because our app also has a Chrome extension. So if, for example, you as a parent, you're doing the searching on Google Chrome and you find some amazing scholarships, you can actually save them to the same login, and then your student can have the app on their phone and they can see the scholarships after they're saved in there. Also, there are reminders that start popping up as early as 2 weeks before the deadline that's put in there. So this app is a great tool for organizing the scholarships that your student actually wants to apply to, rather than having a ton of stuff in there that doesn't even apply to them. So again, the link is in the description to that app. Now, this is the same scenario where your student and you can save scholarships even if they're not due until next year, or if we just missed the deadline, we can set the deadline again for next year because a lot of times that deadline is the same. So this can really become an amazing database for your student. Now, the third app is one that was featured on Shark Tank, and that is SCHOLLY, SCHOLLY. This is a great company because they've done a lot of effort. They've made a lot of effort to pull thousands and thousands of scholarships into their database. Now, again, make sure you attend that free training I mentioned because it will help you decipher whether a scholarship is worth your student's time or not, because there are some junk scholarships in there. It's inevitable because there's so much out there, but there's also a lot of legitimate scholarships on this app. I think you have to pay, it's a few dollars per month, so that's something to keep in mind. However, this can be a very powerful tool. It's a great database. And again, make sure you attend the free training because we use databases last, but for a database app, this is one of my favorites. Now, the way this app works is your student will go in and fill in a basic profile, and then they will try to narrow down their database based on matches. So it is pretty nice in the sense that it can deliver a bunch of scholarships, hopefully, that already match your students' requirements. Now, the fourth app is the College Scholarship Calculator by College Raptor. And this is a tool that actually gives students personalized scholarship information. It roughly calculates what you could possibly receive from universities so that a student can understand what their options are if they are in the college search process. So this will ask for things like GPA, ACT, SAT, and it will pool based on the stats that they have from scholarships that colleges are offering. So all of the previous three apps are more focused on outside scholarships, private scholarships, but this one is more focused on merit scholarships, which is money that's specifically given by the universities. And if you have any questions on the different types of money, we actually have a video all about the different types of scholarship dollars that are out there and the best ones to go for. So we will link to that in the description as well, or you should see it somewhere on this screen. Now, this app is currently only available for iPhone users, but if you and your student decide to use it, you could possibly uncover tens of thousands of dollars of savings if they are flexible on which university they want to attend. So I really do recommend checking this out. Now, the last and final app, and I would say, to be honest, I don't use this per se, but it does look like a good resource for many students, and that is RAISEME. So this is an app where students can do micro actions to receive micro scholarships for their college education. RAISEME currently partners with over 330 universities in order to get students interested in those schools and therefore be rewarded with some sort of monetary value. They can be for actions taken, it can be for involvements, it could be based off of clubs, test scores, grades, activities. There's a lot of different categories that they'll ask your student about in RAISEME, and they'll show what kind of funding can be given based on each one as they include more and more information. Now, once a student chooses a college, then they should receive the money that they are awarded based on each of these micro actions. So it's a pretty neat tool to get students to take action and really become a student that the university is looking for and then be rewarded for that. So that's the idea here. Okay, so that said, those are my top apps. We covered the calendar app, the scholarship system app, SCHOLLY, College Raptors app, and then RAISEME. So those 5 applications are great tools to help your student in the scholarship process. Now, again, it does not replace everything else when it comes to this process. There's a lot to it, which is why we do what we do at the scholarship system, but why not use technology to empower us? So if you have any questions at all, please comment below and we can share any kind of insight on any of these apps, including our own if you'd like. All right, that said, I hope to see you in the next video. Again, don't forget to hit subscribe because every single week we release a new strategy to help your family pay for college without student loan debt. I will see you there.